Hi, beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to New Era. My name is Emma. Scorpio, I did not forget about you this time. I don't know if you noticed last time I did Libra and then jumped right to Sagittarius. But now I am back on track. So Scorpio, let's see what's going on for you. I've set the time frame to early June until early July. So we're about a week into July in this time frame. So Scorpio, anything and everything goes. I take a little bit of time to work up the energy, and it's more towards the end that I have like a full pew of what's going on, and I also have a full view of what's going on. Scorpio. So if you feel like you resonate with the reading, you're so welcome to an extension where I go even deeper into the message. There you go. Scorpio. Choices again. So Libra had choices as their main card. This is an overall energy. So maybe if you feel a connection with Libra somehow, some way, maybe you're a cusp sign, like born right at the end of Libra or right at the very beginning of Scorpio. You could have a lot of Libra placement in your chart. However this shows up for you. But maybe you want to check the Libra reading out. So let's see what I see there for you. I mean, the moon is quite obvious there. We're coming into the 10th of June, which is a new moon in Gemini, which I do apologize. They're organizing some stuff on the outside here of the house. I hope it's not going to disturb you too much. Yeah, there's a beautiful, really big moon there, and like I said, on the 10th of June there's this new moon in Gemini, and we or at least I have heard so much about it, that this is like a major portal, a major awakening, even if you will, and I just feel like there's a lot of grand energy going on around it, yes, for sure, but equally so in the supermoon or full moons that has started from the late of April. And then I feel like it's a continuation, so that we don't get hung up on a specific date, so that we understand that the growth and the opening are happening today. Like on the 7th of June when I record this, it happens also today, and also on the 13th of June. And then I feel like there's a major build-up, or like a process that just continues. And this process goes on until September or October, it feels like, with a strong emphasis on August with Lionsgate. So it's like a big process, almost like from April to the very end of September, coming October. It feels like this opening is happening. And then obviously also November. Come November, no more. Obviously, that's like a preparation for even next level. So there's an ongoing, always bigger and larger and more opening of anything really, but it's like what you do with it. If you set an intention for the 10th of June to really focus in on opening stuff, on releasing the past and so forth, then please do so. So we have this large moon there, so it might play a big role in your life right now. I see a lot of the flowers there, beautiful flowers that has bloomed. And maybe it is you, Scorpio, that you're in a little bit of need of more water, just in general, more water, to drink more water, maybe go swim a little bit more, even like take a bath or stand in a shower to just let the water do its job. Water is so, we talk about it all the time, like drink more water, but water, I couldn't stress it enough. Like it's so underrated. It really is. Yeah, or there's somebody that actually has a plant at home, and maybe you're looking at it just now, or like as you listen to this, or right before this, it's like, oh, that plant is a little bit sad, like it's a little bit droopy and it just needs a little bit water. Then know that your guides are with you at this time, like they're really paying attention to you. All the rest of you, they've forgotten. I'm just kidding. What else do I see? I think the major thing is the moon and the opening, the flowering, the blooming. A lot of feathers, like Indian feathers. And then comes knowledge. seek the truth, I think it says. No, seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. So this is like, for me, that is like a, you find more information, you find more wisdom, you elevate, you understand more, you learn more, you mature more, you evolve. With all those different scenarios, it could be like just about reading about the past or reading about religion or history. But mainly to just sort of figure out how to move forward. So there's something about reaching into the past to learn more about how to move forward. How do you use that today? There's things that Einstein knew back then. How can we know that today? How can we implement that today in our daily lives? So we're going to see what all of this is about. So first, the choices are the moon there with the... I also get a little bit of Mars, like Mars energy, and I am no astrologer, astronomer, tarot artist in any way. And so I don't know what Mars is up to, where Mars is located, really all that Mars does. There's some Mars influence here as well. Okay, so Scorpio with the moon, the Indian feathers and the blooming. Wow. What is this here? Feels like, okay, I want me to start to talk about this. So Five of Michael, for me, this is very much, Michael is like having this big dust thingy. It's not, but I see it as that. And like he sweeps things under the rug. And so that's what comes up with the moon. So there's a lot about with the moon. So if you think about the moon being very mystical, like having a lot of secrets, having things coming up to the surface, there's like a kickoff. There's a kickoff with these things like coming up to the surface. It was also something more. What else was it? I just want to like... Oh, shoot, there was something more. Please have it back. I'm trying too hard. Okay, I'm going to let it go and then probably it will come back. It feels like there's something to be like... I get like this tornado feel, like there's something that has been, you know, how if certain things are swept under the rug and we don't talk about it and we don't talk about it and we don't talk about it, and eventually there's going to be a blow up. There's going to be something that comes to the surface and it's like it's going to be a blow up, and there's something that has been laying underneath, and either you're very happy that this is coming up to the surface, that you're going to start to talk about it, or you're finding out something from somebody else. You're learning about something from somebody else from the past, and it's like coming to the surface, and you're trying to figure out your reaction to the information, or they're trying to figure out their reaction to your information. This might be a little bit in the future, so you might not even know what I'm talking about. Why is this significant though? Why is it? There's something that's been swept under the rug that we haven't really talked about with all these moon cycles now, like opening up. Like they're so, I don't know if the moon sits down to say, I inspired you to open up, but that's what the energies feels like. Maybe there's with the Mars energy, because the Mars feels a little bit aggressive, if you will. I just want to point out that I don't feel any like hardship around this. I don't feel that you're so devastated or that you're like down and out because of it. It just, there's something, excuse me, there's something that has not been spoken about. There's something that has been laying dormant that we have swept under the rug, and due to all those moon cycles now, like the moon brings it out into the light, it's coming up from underneath. Why does it matter? Like why is it here? Can we clarify why this is here? How can we help Scorpio here? leaving a situation, moving on to something better. Refusing to see and seek the truth. That's so interesting. And there are openings in both cards. So this is like very, very much like this. The refusing to see here is the feeling of, okay, we swept it under the rug. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to see it. If this is something like within yourself, like on this first card, you have a helmet on. Like nobody comes into the helmet. Nobody comes in. Nobody reaches into my mind. Nobody's going to look into my mind and tell me. But it's like in comes the light. In comes information, and in comes the light for you to start to open up. And then you do. It's like, and then you really go into the mind. You're actually going to two minds. So third blue border. So there's so much about the throat. It's so much about speaking your truth and looking for the truth and get to the heart of the situation. Can I get even more an understanding about the situation? Excuse me. There's so much about speaking your truth, speaking up, putting your foot down, telling it how it is, or just walk your walk. You know, don't just because I say put your foot down or like telling it how it is, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to speak it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to like, okay, so that person did that and now I need to speak my truth to that person. Speaking your truth could be all about like going into your power, just connecting with your inner being, your higher power, with the universe, whatever you want to call it. And just for the love of yourself, stay there. And have everything be shifted for you because you're connected with your inner being. So there's not, this is quite similar to the Libra reading in terms of, I saw a panda for the Libra reading. And this panda said that Libra was a peacemaker, feeling peace within, making peace with themselves, and feeling peace within was going to make them feel peace without. And so, excuse me, it's like a feeling of, you don't even have to address another person. You have to, if you speak your truth and you're in your very authentic, real, beautiful, clean, pure energy, it doesn't necessarily mean that you even speak to people or situations or, you know, experiences ever again, because you don't have to address them. It might even be that you're getting so far away from them that you don't even remember it anymore because you're so in your right element, you're so in your truth. So speaking your truth doesn't necessarily mean speaking your truth to a particular person. Just wanted to make that clear. There's something about like, okay, finding something out and moving on to something different. First, maybe even refusing to see what this is about. Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And then it's like, well, I do want to know. And I don't want to stay in this situation. I want to, you know what? I saw this before and I didn't say it. I saw this unicorn couple sitting in the palm of your hand. And then it was geese underneath it. Goose in several, in plural. Geese like flying away with it. So it was like this relationship is flying away. It's moving on. Wow. And in comes change your life, number 16. That's sudden shift and sudden changes. And it's asking you to change your life, and you are changing your life, and you're turning the page on love. There's all the knowledge again, all the books. So this could be like a beautiful segue into the, okay, done with relationships, done with the old version of you, done with everything that like, it can be done to 3D reality, like being together with somebody and you find out something about them that allows you to release the relationship altogether. Why I say allow is because you probably have had the feeling of you want out before this happened, but this thing that happened made it easier for you to walk away, if that makes sense. this can be, if it's not a love situation, this can be a situation like with your own belief system. If it's a workplace, like, okay, I wanted to quit this job, and then there's some information that's being brought to the team, or information that's being brought to you that makes it easier for you to quit that job. Or there's a belief system, and it's like you find out like there's something, you just don't sweep it under the rug anymore. You just want to have like a look at it, and you sort of don't hide away anymore. You don't sweep it under the rug. You actually say, okay, let's look at why I keep repeating this, or why I keep creating this thing in your life. That is also speaking your truth, and that is also like moving on from a situation, which can be like moving on from a part of yourself, if that makes sense, a version of yourself. So you can really be a lot of different spectras, like a lot of different versions on the spectrum that is going on for you. But you're definitely changing your life, and you're taking a deep dive into your mind, into the brain, seeking the truth. It's interesting because when the knowledge card came out, as I said, seek the truth, and I made a pause. This is 1616 on the clock, which was to change your life, seek the truth. Sudden changes and sudden shifts here. Yeah, and the knowledge card came out and it says seek knowledge, but I said seek the truth because I thought it said seek the truth. And here comes the seek the truth card. So you're turning the page in love, and you're moving, or you're turning the page in what you're manifesting in your life. Whatever you have created in the past is like we're shifting this whole thing. It doesn't mean that you found out like, okay, so you were in the relationship and you found out that somebody cheated on you, and therefore it was easier to let go of them and move into like a different version of yourself. But I feel like there is something has come to your knowledge, something has come to your recognition that has allowed for you to start to want to walk in a different direction, to start to want to walk a different path. And if this is the juicy stuff of, okay, something has been laying underneath, and it was not such a fun, I mean, it says this situation doesn't serve you, but it's a little bit heavy. It is a little bit heavy, but it doesn't have to be. It's like, okay, that was what it was. Something has come to your, like I would compare it to say, okay, if you listen to a podcast or you listen to somebody talk about like, okay, so the benefits of meditation, you just find out truly on the bottom, like I don't think it could have missed the soul that meditation is good for you, but you really like find out about it in a different sense, or you hear something different, or you see it in a different light, what meditation can do for you. And it's like, okay, I've been putting it off for such a long time. I know the health benefits of meditation. I know what it does for me. Like maybe you've meditated in the past, but then something made you stop. And then it's like something has just come to your attention that if you just start to do this and this in your life, you're going to have a complete change. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be that somebody has told you something really bad for you to want to quit a situation and then move on. It can just be also like positive information comes in, or information comes in for you to want to make a change. Like, okay, no more of the old habits. I am going to do this now. Like, I am going to jump on this train that will lead me to a different path. You're going to change your life. There's something about it. I've already had number 5 to 7 and 16 that adds up to 7. And for some reason, I don't want to talk numbers today. I'm a numerology nerd, and I always take the messages even from the numbers. I don't know what that's about. I'm not drawn whatsoever to look at the numbers. And if you listen to me before, you know that I am all about the numbers. I talk about them frequently, and there's equally much information in the numbers as it is from what I'm hearing, like what I'm getting, and also what I'm seeing or like paying attention to in the cards. So, and I don't know what's up with that. I don't know. I just know. Okay, so 2 things with that. 1, you've started to notice something about your own life, about your own thoughts, about your own belief system, about your surroundings, about yourself. You started to notice something, but you don't yet know what it means. You don't know how that's going to pan out. You don't know if realizing this thing about yourself or figuring this thing out is going to shift things for you. And somebody will ask, well, how, Scorpio? And you will say, I don't know. There's something here and it's going to shift things. I just don't know how it's going to shift and what it's going to lead to. And the other thing is that there's something in going outside of the, I mean, that would ask a lot from me. I mean, the numbers in how I do my readings, like the numbers are such a help. I feel like it's such a help. I feel like it's adding to the story. It's helpful to the story and to the messages coming through to you, and for me to understand them clearer when the numbers come out. And if I were to be told, like, okay, from now on, no more numbers, I would have to work on that. I would have to say, but they're helpful. They're like helpful. They're an addition to the story. They're guidance, you know? Why take away guidance? And it feels like there's something about, okay, so sometimes, like when you've done something that's repetition, and you keep getting the same things over and over again, like, okay, 777 means this, 222 means this, okay, seeing fives means this. I guess, like, and I'm all for saying I'm not for diagnosing anybody. I'm not for, like, putting people in, like, boxes, because once you put them there, it's really hard to take them out or to see them in a different way. And it's quite tough for the person that you put there to even break out, because the influence from the outside is so strong about who they are, because we have decided this is the type of person that they are. And so I'm very careful when it's like around diagnosis and stuff like that. And in a way, it's a little bit of a wake-up call for me as well here. Sounds like I'm a little bit arrogant saying that, but I mean, this reading is for you, and they're pointing out something here right now, that even following the numbers to a T, like this is the number, is sort of like following a diagnosis. If you have this diagnosis, it means that you can't do this and this and this and this. If you have this diagnosis, it means that you can do this and this and this and this. But it sort of boxes us in, doesn't it? It's like if you have a, I'm not going to go into the to that in the, you know what I mean? If you get a diagnosis, you sort of decide who they are, right? And if I see number 7, I've decided what the number 7 means. And they're sort of asking me, as they're asking you, to go outside of the box right now in something that you used to look at. I'm seeing this thing over and over again, so I'm just going to show you. So pretend that this is a pen, and there's this test you can, like, if you pretend that this is a negative thing happening in your life. This is a negative thing happening in your life, or this is a person that you can't stand them. You want them rid of your life. And then you hold it in your hand and you really squeeze tight. I mean, it's not too many, and you can actually literally do this. Like, pause the video and actually do it right now, or do it after you watch the video. Like, and if you sit and hold it, and if you come into the minute and 2 minute, and definitely like after 5 minutes, you're gonna have a cramp. This is a negative, like thinking about this, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative. And then, sorry for the sound now, guys, I'm gonna try to catch it. Once you decide, okay, I'm gonna let it go, because this is holding on to something like this, holding on to a negative experience, holding on to a negative person, holding on to something that have negative thoughts about altogether is giving you a cramp. It hinders the energy, it hinders the flow altogether. And so it's such a like beautiful metaphor to just hold on, and then just decide that after 1 minute or whatever, you're gonna just let it go. Just gonna drop it. Gone. And immediately that's going to raise your vibration, right? Immediately that's going to raise your energy because you've been holding on to something so strongly that the energy can't really flow. But you know what? 777 does the same. At the end of the day, even something positive, if we hold on to something that's so like this is so good for you, and this thing that's so good for you, this positive thing, immediately feels lighter though. It feels lighter because it's positive. This positive person, this positive thing that you're doing, this exercise that you're doing every day, repeating the numbers every day. Once I see 222, this is what it means. This is what it means. Here's 222. I mean, holding on to that 222, and this is what it means. Eventually, that will give you a cramp as well. So eventually, you want to drop that as well and rise even above the 777, or rise above the exercise, or rise above, you know. There is such a beautiful message here. They're asking you to go outside the box, to create something new for yourself. You're coming into this knowledge that is also on the table, like you're turning the page and you're going into some self-discovery here. And then they're asking you to sort of even look into the stuff that you think it has a positive effect on you. So I got that. It's like you're looking into the past and you're viewing it on how you can use it for the future. Such a different meaning now. And then I did this, pointed to the third eye. This is like major awakening, major understanding. To look into the past and understand, okay, so this is how I'm moving forward now. I'm getting knowledge. I'm understanding this. I'm going to the depth of this. To then also look, you're turning the page on your knowledge. You're to like, they're not just asking you to let go of a situation that doesn't serve you anymore. They're equally asking you to just at least look over, have a little scan to what you would consider to be good in your life. This is a gift. This is like watching that Netflix series really brings you joy. Doing this type of energy work every day brings you joy. Even the energy work, even a typical kind of meditation, a typical kind of yoga that we would consider to, probably mainstream would consider it to be good. To eat this very thing because you decided one time a long time ago that this was so healthy for your body. To even overlook that, could you for a bit, like I said, it would take a bit for me. I feel it. It would take a bit for me to leave out the numbers. But if I start to leave out the numbers, what does that give space to? Something else, right? And when you let go of something, it doesn't bring you down. When you let go of something, immediately it brings you up. So whatever is going to replace the numbers, I don't know. But something higher, something even more elevated, something even more, you know? This is so interesting. Hope it makes sense for you guys. I'm going to move into the extension and see what else I can find here for you. See what this is all about. It's so fascinating. Maybe I should start to do the readings without the numbers. I have to work on that one. I even get a little bit anxious. So maybe it's telling me that, yeah, I should work without numbers for a bit. Holy shoot. Okay. Maybe overlook your life, guys. If you're not coming with me to the extension, just, I'm telling you now, maybe take a little overview there and see, is there something you've been doing for ages? You've just been doing it for ages and you feel like it's a good thing. See what it does if you let go of it, and don't replace it immediately with something else, but leave the space for it to show you something. Okay, I'm going to continue to the extended. If you want to come, the link to that is in the description box down below. If not, thank you so much for watching, Scorpio. Take care. I hope to see you soon.